Seniors over 60. Eat these 7 cheap foods to build muscle. Fast backed by science. Have you ever stood in the grocery aisle, squinting at the price tags of protein powders or steaks, wondering, how did staying strong get so expensive? If you're over 60, you're not alone. Many of my patients, bright, resilient souls in their golden years, tell me the same thing, doctor. I want to stay strong, but everything costs too much now. This concern isn't just about money, it's about dignity, independence, and the quiet fear of growing frail. We remember the times when a can of beans and a couple of eggs could fuel us through a long day. Today, the world tells us we need to spend hundreds on supplements just to keep our muscles. But is that really true? I've spent over 25 years listening, researching, and walking alongside people like you, people who want to age with grace, strength, and self-respect. And what I've found is both surprising and hopeful. Building muscle after 60 doesn't require luxury, but wisdom. In this video, we're going to explore 7 humble foods, affordable, accessible, and quietly powerful, that can nourish your muscles better than many pricey powders. So make yourself a warm drink, sit back, and let's walk through this together. Let's begin our journey to stronger aging. Part 1. The silent fear of muscle loss after 60, and why age isn't the only reason. When I sit across from my older patients and ask what they fear most about aging, they rarely mention wrinkles or even memory loss. What I often hear, in quiet voices, is this, doctor. I'm scared I won't be able to carry my groceries or get off the floor if I fall. That fear comes from a very real place. After the age of 50, we lose 1–2% of our muscle mass each year. By 80, many have lost up to 30% of their strength. But here's the part. Most people don't realize it's not just aging, it's neglect. We lose muscle faster, not because we grow older, but because we stop challenging our muscles and nourishing them properly. What surprises me most is that some 85-year-olds still climb stairs and lift grandkids with ease, while others become dependent at 65. The difference isn't in age, but in daily habits, small choices in movement and food. When we ignore this silent decline, the consequences creep in. Slower walking, weaker grip, less balance, and eventually, loss of independence. But here's the good news: we can slow it down, even reverse it, with simple, affordable choices. You don't need a gym membership or pricey powders. You need to feed your muscles like they matter, because they do. Let's explore how. Part 2. Understanding protein the right way. Not all expensive powders are better. Let's pause for a moment and think about something simple. When you eat protein, what matters more, how much you spend, or how well your body can actually use it? Many older adults I speak with believe that the more expensive a protein source is, the better it must be. After all, we've all seen those glossy tubs of protein powder labeled with words like premium, gold, or advanced recovery. But the truth is, your muscles don't care about branding. They care about bioavailability. How much of the protein you eat your body can actually absorb and turn into strength. As we age, our digestive system changes. Our stomach produces less acid, our pancreas becomes less efficient, and nutrient absorption slows. So, even if you eat a large steak or gulp down a fancy shake, your body may only be using a fraction of that protein. That's why some humble foods like eggs, beans, or cottage cheese are often more effective. They're not just affordable, they're gentle on the digestive system and rich in amino acids your body actually needs to build and maintain muscle. The key is not spending more, it's choosing smarter. Muscle health after 60 is less about luxury and more about consistency, digestion, and balance. So, before we chase expensive solutions, let's look at what truly works with simple, accessible foods your body will thank you for. Part 3. Sardines, small but mighty for aging muscles. I know what you're thinking. Sardines. Really, many of my patients raise their eyebrows when I first bring them up. Doctor, they smell too strong, or I haven't touched those since I was a kid. But let me gently ask you to look again, not with your nose, but with your heart and your health in mind. One small can of sardines packs over 20 grams of complete protein, along with a generous dose of omega-3 fatty acids and calcium. But it's not just the numbers that impress me, it's how perfectly tailored sardines are for older adults. You see, omega-3s do more than protect the heart. In aging muscles, they help reduce the chronic inflammation that quietly eats away at strength. They preserve muscle cells and improve the body's ability to use protein for repair. That's vital because as we get older, we need a little more help turning food into function. And the best part, sardines are affordable, shelf-stable, and require no cooking. That means even on tough days when your energy is low or your fridge is empty, you can still nourish your body with something real and restorative. Try adding sardines to toast with a little lemon, blending them into a mild pasta dish, or stirring them into a warm bowl of soup. With time, they may become less of a chore and more of a secret weapon in your kitchen. Muscle doesn't care about fancy cuts of meat, it cares about nutrients it can use. And sardines, humble as they are, deliver exactly that. Part 4. Cottage cheese, gentle nighttime nourishment for tired muscles. Let me share a quiet truth that often surprises people. Your muscles heal the most when you're asleep, not when you're awake and active. That's why what you eat before bed can matter just as much as what you eat during the day. Cottage cheese may seem like an old-fashioned food, tucked away in the corners of the grocery store. But to me, it's a quiet hero. It's rich in casein, a slow-digesting protein that gently feeds your muscles for hours while you rest. And for older adults, that's incredibly important. You see, as we age, our muscles become more resistant to growth. They don't respond to protein as easily as they once did, a phenomenon called anabolic resistance. But casein helps overcome this by delivering a slow, steady stream of amino acids through the night, like a gentle IV drip of nourishment. I often suggest a small bowl of cottage cheese before bedtime. It's not heavy. It won't upset your stomach. And it may help you wake up feeling just a little stronger, a little more recovered. If the taste feels plain, try it with a spoonful of berries, a dash of cinnamon, or a few crushed nuts. You're not just feeding your body, you're giving your muscles a night of quiet care. In a world full of powders and promises, sometimes the simplest things like a spoonful of cottage cheese hold the deepest healing. Part 5. Lentils, the plant-powered strength you never expected. When I think about foods that surprise people with their strength, lentils come to mind immediately. Small, earthy, unassuming, these little legumes don't beg for attention. But what they do inside your body is nothing short of remarkable. One cooked cup of lentils gives you about 18 grams of protein, along with iron, fiber, and B vitamins, all critical for energy, muscle recovery, and daily vitality. For older adults, that's a powerful package. Let's take iron, for example. Many seniors quietly struggle with low iron levels without ever realizing it. They feel tired, weak, or short of breath, but they think it's just part of aging. Often, it's not. It's a nutritional gap. Lentils gently fill that space, giving your muscles the oxygen-carrying power they need to stay strong. What makes lentils even more special is their rich content of leucine, an amino acid that triggers muscle growth. Even though lentils are plant-based, when paired with grains or seeds during the day, they can form a complete protein your body recognizes and uses well. They're also budget-friendly, easy to store, and quick to prepare, especially red lentils, which cook in just 15 minutes. Add them to soups, stews, or grain bowls. Season with turmeric or garlic for extra anti-inflammatory benefits. In a world that often overlooks plant proteins, Lentils offer a gentle, steady strength, just like many of the elders I admire most. Quiet, consistent, resilient. Part 6. Canned tuna. Clean, lean, and deeply nourishing. Sometimes the simplest meals can be the most healing. I often think of canned tuna as one of those unsung heroes of food that's humble on the outside, but deeply nourishing where it counts. In just one small can, you'll find about 22 grams of complete lean protein. But what really sets tuna apart is how easily your body can absorb it. As we age, our digestive systems change. We may no longer break down or use certain proteins as efficiently. That's where tuna shines. It's gentle, clean, and bioavailable. Tuna also contains all 9 essential amino acids in the right ratios to support muscle repair and maintenance. And because it's naturally low in fat and calories, it helps you build strength without unnecessary weight gain, a balance that's especially helpful for older adults managing heart health or diabetes. What I appreciate most, though, is its practicality. No cooking, no prep. Just open a can and you have the foundation of a nourishing meal. You can mix it with eggs for a quick patty, layer it into a whole grain sandwich, or toss it onto a leafy salad. And let's not forget, tuna is one of the most affordable proteins available, less than 5 cents per gram. That means you don't have to choose between eating well and staying within budget. In a noisy world full of complicated nutrition advice, canned tuna offers quiet clarity, real nourishment, ready when you need it most. Part 7. Eggs, nature's perfect package for strength and renewal. There's something almost poetic about an egg. Small, quiet, unassuming, yet inside, it holds everything needed to build life from scratch. And for older adults seeking to rebuild or protect muscle, few foods are as complete or dependable. Each egg provides about 6 grams of high-quality protein, packed into a form your body can absorb with remarkable ease. In fact, eggs have the highest biological value of any whole food protein, meaning your body uses nearly all of it. What's often overlooked, however, is the power of the yolk. While some people still worry about cholesterol, recent studies have largely cleared eggs of that concern for most adults. More importantly, the yolk carries essential nutrients like vitamin D, choline, and leucine, all critical for muscle health, brain function, and recovery. I often tell my patients, don't skip the yolk. That's where the synergy lives. A study from the University of Illinois found that people who ate whole eggs after exercise built significantly more muscle than those who only ate egg whites despite identical protein content. Nature designed the egg as a complete package for a reason. Eggs are also versatile and comforting. Scrambled for breakfast, boiled as a snack, or poached gently over a slice of whole grain toast, they fit into almost any routine. And at just a few cents per egg, they're one of the most affordable sources of healing you can find. In a world chasing superfoods and exotic powders, it's beautiful to know that something so powerful has always been within reach right there, resting in the carton on your kitchen shelf. Part 8. Dried beans. The slow, steady power of plant-based resilience. There's a kind of quiet strength in dried beans, humble, slow to prepare, but deeply nourishing. And in many ways, they remind me of the elders I've come to admire most, not flashy, not loud, but full of wisdom, endurance, and quiet purpose. Each cooked cup of beans gives you around 15 grams of protein, along with complex carbohydrates, iron, potassium, magnesium, and fiber. But their true gift lies in their balance, fueling your muscles not just with protein, but with the energy and minerals needed for repair, stability, and recovery. As we age, inflammation becomes a subtle but powerful thief of strength. The polyphenols and fiber in beans help to calm that internal fire. They also feed your gut microbiome, which plays a bigger role in muscle function than many people realize. A healthier gut absorbs more nutrients, reduces inflammation, and supports immune strength, all of which matter when you're trying to stay strong in your 60s, 70s, or 80s. Beans are also beautifully economical. A pound of dried beans, costing just over $1, can yield up to 12 servings of muscle-supporting nutrition. They're easy to cook in batches, freeze for later, and adapt into soups, salads, stews, or simple sides. And here's something many forget when beans are combined with grains like rice or quinoa during the day. They create a complete protein. That means you don't need meat at every meal to maintain strength. You need variety, intention, and consistency. In a world obsessed with speed, beans ask us to slow down, to simmer, to nourish deeply. And in return, they offer something priceless: strength that lasts. As we come to the end of our conversation, I hope one message rings clear: building strength after 60 isn't about chasing expensive powders or trendy diets. It's about choosing foods that your body can understand, absorb, and thrive on. Foods that have stood the test of time. Sardines, cottage cheese, lentils, tuna, eggs, Greek yogurt, and dried beans. They may not make headlines, but they make a difference. They're reliable, affordable, and powerful in ways marketing rarely celebrates. Each of these foods supports your muscles in a different but complementary way. Some work quickly, some slowly, some offer complete proteins. Others contribute vital nutrients that help your body use what it gets more effectively. Together, they form a quiet arsenal for strength, resilience, and independence. What I wish for you is this: that you never feel powerless in the face of aging, that you know your choices, no matter how small, still matter deeply. And that with every bite, you're not just feeding your body, but also your hope, your dignity, and your capacity to live fully. If this message has touched you, share it with someone you care about. Let's build a stronger community, one meal and one moment at a time. And if you'd like more gentle, science-backed guidance for staying well as you age, subscribe to the channel. I'll be here whenever you're ready for our next conversation.